everyone, Babs Hockey here with the Player Coach Podcast. Here, I'll illustrate multiple perspectives from a player and a coach so you can see the game from different viewpoints. And I'll give you the latest in hockey IQ development so you can make better decisions and take your game to the next level. Today, I want to talk about two habits that are killing your game, and they are hope plays and force plays. Now, I use these as two key indicators of your hockey IQ. You can tell a player what level of IQ they have for how many times they're forcing plays and how many times they're hoping plays. They're throwing hope plays. And you might think they're the same, but they're different. And I'll explain why. Hope plays are when you're not looking, you don't see any option, and you're throwing the puck anticipating that someone is there. Now, this is with no vision. This is probably, again, they're both really bad. Probably the worst one, it really depends on the context, because this is blindly throwing pucks without looking and just assuming that the player is running the pattern that you guys have been practicing and you're not looking. Force plays are when you see your option, you see that play, but you try to force that puck anyways. You try to, and again, this is not as bad typically, but we want to really minimize the amount of force plays. And they both are clear indicators of low IQ if you're doing them frequently. Now with hope plays, this shows a lack of vision. It shows a lack of maximizing vision lines and really being able to problem solve. That's really the name of the game with both of these, is lack of problem solving. Force plays tend to be more on the side of, I want this play to happen. We really want, the coach has asked us to come up the wall and hit the guy in the soft spot, but he's taken, and you still try to force that play. And so we want to go down, we want to really understand both of these. So when we're talking about hope plays, players typically will just throw the puck away under pressure. You see this with younger players. The second they start getting under pressure, they'll just throw the puck away because they don't want to make a mistake. And you definitely see this at the pro level when going in with new teams. You'll see players will just like throw that puck away or hope that someone's over there without really looking. Now, this typically stems from a lack of confidence in their game or a lack of understanding of the flow of the game. And both can be fixed with developing your hockey IQ. When you develop your IQ, you start to see the patterns of the game. You first start to become confident as you start applying the different principles that essentially run the game. And when you do that, you start seeing, okay, this is where the players are going to go. Oh, I'm reading possession better. This is unclear possession, so let me stay on the defensive side. And then that puck ends up coming to them, or they're able to angle that defender or opponent and regain puck possession. They start to build confidence this way. And then when you start developing your IQ, you start making better decisions. You start optimizing your vision line. This is another thing that we really don't see a lot of players focusing on, is maximizing their vision line, putting their head in the right position. This is something with the update coming up with the course is going to be really focused on looking and putting your head in the right position, using your eyes more. As you move up at higher and higher levels, the elite players are able to use their eyes, and it's something that is really not talked about or worked on enough. You need to be able to use your eyes more frequently, more efficiently to see your options, take in more information so that you're not hoping that executing hope plays. You're executing more deliberate plays, or you're actually putting pucks to spaces where your teammates are going to go. So this is why developing hockey IQ is so important. It really starts to minimize your hope plays. And what we'll do is it starts to build your confidence. When you build your confidence, now you can start building momentum, something I've talked about before. Start building positive momentum in the right direction. You start seeing all these skills start to click. And now When you develop your hockey IQ, you have less hope plays. You're able to apply the skills that you've been working on throughout the summer, throughout the year that you've been really focusing on. You want to apply all those skills, or you want skills that transfer, develop your IQ. Because then when you start seeing the game the way the best in the world do, start seeing these different options, understanding these patterns, you'll be able to apply the skills in the right context. That's the problem. That's why players throw hope plays, because they don't know when to apply specific skills in the right context. Players will go down with pre-programmed moves and just want to toe drag. I want to toe drag this guy, but it's not there. But they're already going in hoping that that player will just move magically when they put that toe drag out. So this is why when you develop your hockey IQ, you'll be able to minimize hope plays. This is one of the key indicators of players when I'm watching their video. It shows low confidence and low IQ. It immediately, I establish this standard of we need to start watching hockey, which specific principles they need to start working on, and how they can apply them starting in practice and then getting them into their game. Next are force plays. Force plays are something that, again, is a low IQ. You see that option, but it's typically a struggle with optionality. They get stuck in that pre-programmed move, or they get stuck in that one mindset that I need to get this puck through, or I need to shoot this puck right now, and they don't have any options off of there. So this is another key indicator of hockey IQ, because when we develop optionality in your game, and again, this is something that's going to be in the new update coming in here with the IQ game course. When you develop optionality, you can now read and react and manipulate opponents. You can be even more proactive. You go in that, a good example, the threat to shoot position. If that stick comes, you can now attack space, attack different areas. And so we want really force plays as a key indicator of lack of optionality, and it's low IQ. It's not as bad typically, depending on the context, as hope plays, because hope plays tend to be blind, but force plays really show a struggle to apply different options. Players only have one. They go into a situation and they only have one option. They don't know how to escape another way. They don't really know what to do when their initial option is taken away. And so that's where hockey IQ comes in. When you develop hockey IQ, you start seeing multiple options. It starts with 2, but then it turns into 3, 4, and it turns into this multitude of options that now when some player comes over and takes away this, you just access this. First, you have to develop the core skills, which I lay out in the course, so that you can execute these options consistently. Once you do that, now you can start consciously manipulating opponents. You're going in, showing shot. He comes in right at, attacks you, you pull that puck to space. Or he goes in for the block, you push out. You tend to see a utilization of this on the power play. And again, the power play just emphasizes this a little bit more because of the man advantage, but you really want to look at the players who do this consistently 5-on-5. And so when you're able to utilize optionality in your game, you're going to see yourself not forcing plays. If the play's not there, you have an option to get out. You're able to maintain possession versus giving it up. And this, again, now builds into the confidence. When we have the ability to utilize multiple options and we can see the patterns of the game through developing your IQ, you can now build confidence in that you know when to apply the specific skills for certain situations. So there you have it. You have 2 key habits that are killing your game. You have hope plays and force plays. We want to work to minimize these 2. Hope plays are no lookers or hoping that a player is going to follow the pattern that you've practiced, and force plays are when you lack optionality and you don't have a way out when someone takes away your initial option. How do you fix this? The IQ game course. This is where you can start to develop your game and really work on the principles, the ozone patterns and shot selections so that you can optimize your decision making and create more offense. So The update will give you the head positions, the vision lines, really show you the optionality, how to develop it in specific ways with a structured plan with drills so that you minimize your hope plays, you reduce your force plays, and now you're maintaining possession longer, you're creating higher percentage chances, and you're a threat to score every time you get in the O-zone. So thanks again for listening. If you want to sign up, click the link in my bio or check out my website, www.bapshockey.com, so you can take your IQ and game to the next level.